Very nice to see you all again. Uh, Last time, I can some familiar faces around there. Uh, you guys, not that much change since I left South Africa. I think at 2000, when was that? End of 2007 or 8, something like that. So some maybe the new face, maybe we do not know, but most of you, I can see the Elizabeth and Erica, Neil, Sena, as I can see, but and other hard to recognize. But yeah, anyhow, anyway, last the practice we did the self-compassion meditation, but actually from the Buddhist perspective, it is sort of renunciation practice, you know, for the general in the West, they use as a self-compassion, but Buddhist is a very similar renunciation practice. So therefore, the meditation we done it's sort of renunciation or the self-compassion meditation. So it's been like a few, I don't know, 3-4 weeks we've been that. So if you keep going this meditation, you learn from last time, and every morning at least 5-10 minutes when you do it, then slowly your minds will becoming with familiarity with this. Slowly something change. So it's not something always start something new thing and try to go. That's not that much effective. The purpose of the meditation, there are many different purposes. One simple purpose is to disciplining. Just when we're doing the mindfulness meditation or breathing meditation, like a basic meditation, it just only disciplines one's mind to just focused on the one object and remain there. So try to get rid of distraction, the thoughts. But that alone, it's not enough. It is very good, but it's not enough. When you really want to deal with the mental problem, then the first self-compassion, it gives you tremendous effort or helps to dealing with these emotions, to these mental afflictions, which are the fundamental causes of our sufferings. So then when you do this meditation again and again and again, eventually you're becoming so much aware, about your mind. Right now, our mind is so much an external, but it's not that much knowing internal world. So the self-compassion meditation gives you to understanding, or not only understanding, to give you some kind of inner, awareness to any destruction thoughts arises. You will be able to recognize that. So the problem is when this negative emotion arises, we are not recognizing them. We don't see that. So because when you become so much angry, so much hate, so much negative, our focus is always outside the objects. We're looking there and we don't see internal what kind of things are coming. So that's why these mental afflictions, when they take over you, then you're becoming what we call the drunk. You're drunk by anger, drunk by hatreds. So when you're becoming powerless, whole power take over by your anger, and the result, not only your mental pain, not only your, what you call disturb your mind, it's also affected your physical action, your speech, everything turned into violent, negative. So then you will going to act negative. So when you act negative, then it's not only destroy your dignities, your values, your relationships, it's also create problem within your family members within the people, surrounded you. It's horrible. It's so painful, so negative. But self-compassion, it's when you're really aware, when you're really familiar with this meditation, then your sensitive is you become inner sensitive. Any emotions, any negative emotion, thoughts arises, first you catch that, recognizing that. Then you first deal with that instead of going out there. First you setting up to how should I deal with my anger. I'm so much angry now. When I hear this news, when I saw this, it creates me so much anger. When the person becomes so much angry, then that anger eat your inner peace, your inner joyfulness. That anger brings fear, worry, all this mental pain. So if you don't deal with this anger, then it's becoming more stronger. Then 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, weeks living with this emotion, then slowly it ruins. It ruins your joy, your pleasure, your dignities, your happiness, everything. So first point is how should I deal with my anger? How should control myself first instead of focus out there and blaming to other and accusing them and criticizing them? That behave, it's not benefit to oneself or others. Instead of that, it hurts you. It grow your anger more. And it's becoming so judgmental in the negative way. You become so sensitive, so focused, always in the negative way. You're seeing negative, you think negative, you act negative. Of course, why not you will feel suffering? Of course, why not? Right? So to deal with these things, really, the fundamental thing is these negative emotion, because your negative emotion, you are the only the person can control. Nobody able to fix your mental affliction. Even as a Buddhist, Buddha, he can't he can't eliminate my anger, my negative emotion. Nobody there, right? It's very clear in the Buddha's text, Thupnam Tikpa Chi Nutritions. Enlightened beings, the Buddhas, can't wash our, it's called the sin, which means our negative emotions, our negative karma. They cannot able to wash that. He cannot, the enlightened beings cannot take our suffering, cannot take it by their hand, cannot pick our suffering by their hand. And also, the Buddha says he can't transform his own realization into us. He can't transform that. What he can do is only he can teach you how should fix. He can teach you the dharma, the instruction. Dharma which means the instruction, which if you follow with this instruction, that instruction will help you to overcome all your mental affliction. So, through he give this instruction, you sincerely study, first hearing, then contemplate, research, then when you see something benefit, put it into the meditation. Through that, you can liberate yourself from this suffering. That's how Buddha taught us. Therefore, it's absolutely self-responsibility. It's so important because sometimes when you follow with a certain faith, then sometimes we go with what you call not taking responsibility. When you faith, oh, I just pray to the Buddha, I just offering to him, and the Buddhas, the enlightened beings, will going to fix me, will going to bless me, or will going to free me. That's not going to work. That's not how the Buddhist way of doing the practice. We believe on law of causality, the karmic system. If you accumulate karma, you have to deal with that. If you're the troublemaker, then you have to fix your trouble. There's nobody, you make a trouble, somebody there to fix for you. That's not going to work. If that's possible, then why not? Buddha will fix our problem. Why not he's doing that? He has compassion to all sentient beings. Why not they doing this? So that's clear. It's not about there. It's absolutely self-responsibility. Dani daji goying is. It is saying you are your own master. Things depend upon you. That's the Buddha says. You are your own master. You have to liberate by yourself. Why they're so talking about it? Because from the Buddhist perspective, every suffering today we experiencing, fundamental causes is one's own mental afflictions. That's the root causes of problems. All the problem we're experiencing because of this. There are external conditions around there, but these are just as a condition. But the fundamental causes is within your mind, your mental affliction. As long as the person who living under the influence of mental affliction, then doesn't matter wherever you live, what kind of lifestyle, luxury lifestyle, doesn't matter. You will experiencing physical, mental, emotional sufferings. And that's very clear today. You can see in this world, there are the people, very rich, superstar. They have a very high reputed person. Sometimes ended up with a commit suicide. Sometimes these people ended up with the drunk alcoholisms, drugs problems. There's not one or two, there are many examples. So just having external material doesn't mean it makes you happy. If these people are really happy, then why are they going to take drugs? Why are they going to do this, commit suicide? That means there's something suffering within there. So this suffering is not external. It's the one's own mental affliction. So as a Buddhist, even not a Buddhist, like just a meditator, our goal is not, if you keep your goal is very little, then your result comes very little. You have to think bigger image. Purpose of our meditation here is to eliminate all your mental afflictions. That kind of attitude, that kind of intention. Oh, I'm very stressed, I'm very depressed. These days, the world's going so much, pandemic, politic problems, blah, blah, blah. It makes me so depressed and stressed. I want to meditate to keep my mind a little bit calm. Very little benefit. Your aim is so little, then your result become very little. You say, okay, these are the suffering. I need to deal with that. But this suffering is not only because of the pandemic, because of the politic. There are external conditions, but the main, why you have to feel pain when these things you see, why you have a problem? Because your mind inside there, certain type of the emotions, which causes you, brings you fear, worry, stress, anxiety. And because of that, it makes you so much pain. So these inner pain, fundamental causes, either you might be too much angry, too much hate, too much arrogance, too much greed, attachments, self-centered. There are number of these emotions around there who causes this problem. So from Buddhists, we call these other mental afflictions, diluted emotions. In the Buddhist psychology world, we use wrong consciousness, mistaken consciousness. These consciousness, this emotion, whenever they arises, first result is it disturbs one's own peace of mind. Then slowly it can affect your action. Then you accumulate negative actions. negative karmas, you act violence, then result not only oneself suffering, your family members, societies, everywhere problems. Then from the Buddhist perspective, these action, these karma will affect it for next and next and next and next in life. Too much problems. So all these problems, fundamental, one's own mental affliction. So how should we get rid of this mental affliction? How should we deal this mental affliction? Just simple prayer, reciting mantra, visualization is not enough. These are very good, but not enough. It's that we have to utilize our mind to exercise. So all these practices we reciting the prayers, all this prayer, mainly each of the words that gives you some kind of uh, point there. So we need to reflect to these point, these behind the meaning of those prayer, reflect it to change your mind, to transform your mind. So that's to doing this changing, transforming one's mind through meditation. Meditation is the only can help us to tame our mind, to train the mind, to transform our mind from negative to positive, from wrong thinking, mistaken thinking to right, valid thoughts. So to transforming that, it's only through meditation. So that's why we adopt this training, the meditation, to my goal is to tame my mind, to transform my mind from self-centered to altruism, anger, hatred to love, compassion, right? So that kind of transformation we need to change through the meditation. That's why we adopt this meditation. So all the meditator, if you set up that intention, then your focus is becoming much deeper level. Otherwise, oh, there's too much distraction. I want to keep quiet, sit, and you meditate is mostly we're doing it's either breathing meditation, either, not thinking about anything. Keep your mind blank, right? Don't think about any, not engaging to any object. Just sit your mind without thinking. And that will help for that moment to destroy or to get rid of your worries or fears, all kind of things, because you are not thinking anything. But these are good for the moment. But for the long term, still not enough. Because these thoughts, where they come from? Why I'm thinking this? Because I'm angry, I hate, or I have so much attached, I have high expectation, I have too much arrogance, some kind of mental affliction there. So when we meditate just without thinking that time, these mental afflictions are sleeping. We are not chasing out them. We are not getting rid of them. They just put it sleep. Then when you wake up, go there, this comes up. Then things when you see, when you hear again, you will be stressed, you will be depressed. So this kind of solution is just for temporarily benefit when you have not that much understanding to dealing with this deeper meditation, then these meditations are good for the moment. But if you're thinking about long-term benefit, then you have to go deeper level of meditation, really to deal with your anger, your self-centered, your mental affliction. Then to do that, you have to study what is the anger, where it comes from, what is the result of this? Because as a meditator, we dealing with each this mental disease, which are anger, hatred, a number of this mental affliction. We have that. We are the patient of this mental disease. And you are the only the person need to deal with that. To do that, you have to understanding each detailed disease. What is that anger? What kind of medicine I need to get rid of this anger, to rid of this? So we need to be a little bit to educate about these mental issues. So that's why Buddhist psychology we're studying is the mainly, it's not just talk nicely. It's not only that, it's the mainly purpose of our meditation is to get rid of all this mental affliction. That's why I need to understand each of these negative emotions, what they're functioning, what are the causes of this. So that's how we study this. So when you learn that, then when you put it into the meditation, it's very clear because they are very, very tricky. Many, for instance, attachment, love, very similarity. So people who have no idea, when they think love, they might be talk about attachment. Then when we guide the meditation on love, they might be meditating on attachment. That's the problem, because you do not know difference between love and attachment. Then Buddhists, we talk about don't be too much ego, arrogance, right? But you have to have self-confidence, not too much ego, the pride, ego or arrogant, but need to have self-confidence. Self-confidence is very important in order to success. But if you do not have idea to distinguish between self-confidence and ego or the pride, then you think I'm learning the self-confidence, maybe you bringing more ego. So that's why these distinguished things are very important to learn here. Now here the topic is mainly, as a meditator, the compassion meditator, first you should understanding this compassion meditation. It's not just only be nice to other people, talk nicely, kind of people may think compassion, which means they're more focused on external, your behave. External behave comes after the compassion. Compassion meditation, compassion is internal. Internal's the mind. There's a desire, there's a wish. So what is the compassion? The compassion is the desire who's seeking others be free from suffering. So they're thinking other, which doesn't mean only my family, my friends. Others, which means entire beings. Very important thing is the people you hate, people you dislike. Those people, if you feel sincerely wish them to be free from suffering, then that kind of desire, that kind of wish, it's called compassion. So if you don't feel that to your enemies, only feel to your friends and the family, that might be, this is not true compassion. This is compassion mixed with attachment. It's not enough. That will not eliminate your anger. So therefore, the true compassion is, if you sincerely feel toward your enemy, wish them to be free from suffering, then that called compassion. That attitude directly helps you to reduce your anger, your hatred, your resentment toward your enemies. And one of the main, our goal, the compassion meditation, is to reduce self-centered. Self-centered or the selfish is the fundamental causes of all these mental afflictions, all the negative emotions today we have. All of these negative emotions, the bottom, the foundation, one of the foundation is self-centered. So that was very important to know as a compassion meditator. You know, all your anger, your hatred, your arrogance, your jealousies, all these things, deeper, there's a link. The deeper level, they all come with self-centered, selfish mind. So danger, so difficult to get rid of this. So therefore, we meditating on love and compassions are one of the goal is to reduce that self-centered. So to do this meditation, if you really sincerely, if you really wants to serious meditator, Otherwise, yes, compassion helps you, your health better, blah, blah, blah. You're doing compassion for self-benefit. You know, oh, it makes you healthy, it's benefit to you. It's you look only for that perspective. Through that, when you do compassion, maybe that compassion comes out of self-centered. It will not that much benefit. It will not really comes through compassion. So therefore, first we should understand, in order to do the sincerely compassion, which is Buddhism, we call Mahayana practice. Otherwise, today we have secular compassion. There are many things compassion today. It's become quite popular. It's quite good. You know, this 20th century, it's become, you know, either they accept it or not, either they're meditating or not. Now it's becoming quite popular. You know, everybody's now quite number of people accepting it helps. But the Mahayana practice as a Buddhist, when they're doing this compassion, first we need to understanding the disadvantages of self-centered. Our target, compassion meditator target is self-centered. That's how we shoot. We shoot our compassion to self-centered to get rid of that. So if your compassion meditation is not helping you to reduce your self-centered, then that compassion meditation is still not Mahayana, the practice of compassion, which is causes of bodhicitta. Maybe you are not on that way. Maybe you're misunderstanding or something wrong there. So therefore, our target is self-centered. Therefore, first, in order to keep self-centered as your target, you have to understanding disadvantages of self-centered. In the Guide of Bodhisattva or Way of Life, Shantideva say very clear, right? All our suffering is because of the self-centered. All the sufferings come from self-centered. Very clear there. So when you go to the Lama Chepa and the many Lojong mind trainings, they're all giving the one same message is all the suffering that human beings or sentient beings experiencing is because of the self-centered. That's how bad it is. But the majority today, they have no idea. Self-centered troublemaker, they never think about. Troublemaker means over there. This guy, these people, that people, always be pointing there. We never pointing. Where is troublemaker? Troublemaker is sitting in your middle of your heart. You still do not have idea. So that's why we're making many mistakes, because we put so much effort to deal with our problem, to overcome ourselves, but our suffering never ended. It's constantly we're experiencing suffering. From the Buddhist perspective, from beginningless to till today, we're circling in samsara. We can go back, our lives still same in the circling in samsara because we put the wrong target. Our target is outside there. So the real, our enemy is within our heart. Therefore, first, we need to understand that disadvantages of self-centered. So you should blame your anger, your hatred, your fear, your worries, your stress. Why you have that? Of course, external condition, because of the pandemic, because of the job, because of the economy, because of my business, because of this or that. These are just external conditions. But why you have to feel that? Because you have self-centered. And the Guide of Bodhisattva, Chiba Rangi Tenjeba, Tuba Shingi Tenjeba, Tinijini Chebartes. Enlightened beings, Buddhas and ordinary people, why we have so much differences. These beings, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, always be very happy and peaceful. Why we have so much suffering? Because simple, enlightened beings and other Bodhisattvas, they're only doing is seeking benefit to others. They're living with altruism. We're living with self-centered. That's why we suffer, right? That Shantideva says that. So First, you should really understanding your self-centered is the fundamental causes of your problem. Very little light suffering to huge big problem. Simple problem about between family problems to the big problem circling in samsara from whole your life, you should blame to the self-centered. It's come from self-centered. So when you really, and then just look that self-centered minded. If you just, without touch the religious faith, just look their own mind. Self-centered is just thinking about, when you put self in other, self-centered thinking, self is most important than others. That's how self-centered belief, grasping, apprehending self is more important than others. Now you should live in the middle way there and look, is that most important? Of course not. Self, how much important? Only one person. Others means countless, immeasurable, infinite, just by number, which is more important? Others. But self-centered is the ignorance who don't understanding there. That's why we prove self-centered is the wrong, mistaken consciousness. It's absolutely wrong precept, wrong apprehending. So if you follow, if you make your all decision to your self-centered, the wrong consciousness, then always that will decisions comes wrong. Then you act based on wrong decision, your action will turn into wrong. That's why your life ended with the wrong place, right? Samsara, because of the self-centered, that wrong perception. So if you don't deal with that, if you don't change that, then your suffering will always be experienced. Temporary, long-term suffering, always. So we need to get rid of these self-centered. That's why you should first blame to your self-centered all my problem, all my suffering. I'm stuck into this samsara because of my self-centered. So through that meditation on disadvantages of self-centered, you feel disgust toward your self-centered. You feel revulsion toward your self-centered. You really want to get rid of that. You do not want to stay with that. That kind of feeling, you need to arise. Then when you feel that, then you're thinking, how should I get rid of self-centered? Just take alcohol and drink, make a drunk, is that will help to reduce your self-centered? Or you put some kind of drugs in there, is that will help you? Or do this kind of whatever, what you call the bar, go there and drink and dance, is that will help you? What kind of things will help you to reduce your self-centered? None of this. Power, your money, your material, none of these things will be helped to reduce this. Only the opposite mind of self-centered, which is altruism, compassion, love, bodhicitta, these kind of medicine, the attitudes, if you generate that, that mind will be straight to what you call combat to your self-centered. That's the only way, right? There's nothing, any solution. What kind of other solution we have to deal with your self-centered? There's nothing any. Only this altruism, compassion, love, bodhicittas, and so forth. These practices are the only. So that's why I adopt this. I adopt this compassion meditation to reduce my self-centered. When this reduce my self-centered, it will reduce my anger. It will reduce my arrogance, my attachment. When these things reduce that, your action will turn more positive way. Then that will not only makes oneself happy, it makes others be happy. That's why you adopt this compassion meditation, right? So now when you got that, okay, how should I generate compassion now? How should I do that? There are many ways, if you follow typically authentic way in the Buddhist Mahayana Buddhism, from Buddha to Maitreya, through that lineage, they have a training to develop compassion, or from Buddha to Manjushri to Nagarjuna, through that lineage, you have a generate compassion. Depend on each individual's, which one is most suit with your brain, you adopt that. So we call Gyachin Chuji, a lineage of extensive deed, which is from Maitreya, from Buddha to Maitreya lineage. Samotaji, from Buddha to Manjushri lineage, we call lineage of profound view, two different lineages there. And through that, either you apply both of them, the Atisha who bring this both lineage, combine, bring it to the Tibet. So Tibetan, we have both lineage. So as an individual, you can combine that, you can do one lineage or whatever, either makes sense for you, right? So we do not have time to go all those details here. So here, what I'm going here is a very simple way, very practical way. So the simple way, which is first, compassion I mentioned earlier, right? Wish them to be free from suffering, right? That kind of desire, when you look at for your family members, when you see your family members suffer, you automatically you feel, I wish my children, my parents, my friend will be free from suffering. That compassion is easy for you. You don't need to meditate that much. That same feeling, when you see the enemies, when they suffer, can you feel that? Very difficult. We can't. Why this? Why these differences? It's telling us because enemy, you feel so distant, mentally distant. Your friends in the family, you feel so close to them. So feeling closeness to other helps you to feel compassion much easier. That means in order to generate compassion to other, first you need to generate affection, love. Yongi Champa in Tibetan. Affection, love, which means mind of endearment, sense of closeness, feel dear, seeing others as a lovable, right? Likable. So that kind of feeling, if you're able to generate that, then you have no problem to develop compassion to others. If you mentally distant to those people, how much you try compassion, you never, ever feel compassion. You can think compassion, you can visualize, but the compassion is not only thinking and visualization, mainly feel from your heart. Feeling never arises. Therefore, first we need to learn, meditate on mind of endearment, affection, love. That's first very important. To feel close, dear to everybody's, including your enemies. When you feel close to them, I'm talking mentally, right? It's not physically. Physically level, certain situation, better to stay distant. Otherwise, too much trouble, right? But the mental, always keep close. So that's how mind trainer should do that way. So mentally close that. So how should I feel close to other? It's very difficult. So here, remember others' kindness, right? Try to think about others' good qualities. In typical, traditionally, we meditate all Sanjay mother, remember their kindness, we should revere their kindness, all kind of meditation we're doing to feel affection, love. But that chapter, leave it there. Point is, you have to remember others' kindness, others' good qualities. So every human beings, every sentient beings, they do have many good qualities there. We don't see. We don't see doesn't mean they don't have that. If you look into the other's good quality, you will see others' good quality. When you see, you can feel. It's not about who they are. It's about what you see. That's very important. What you see, that's reality for you. Therefore, same person which is making so much trouble, but that same person not seeing everybody seeing he is a troublemaker. There are many of people like him very much. For them, seeing this guy is the one of the best, one of the kind person, one of the great person. And other people are saying this guy is the one of the worst person, one of the bad people, one of the troublemakers. That's how they see. When these two persons seeing two different ways, for the person who's seeing very good, for him, always love to this person, joy. People who sees a very negative side, they always hate to this person. So this person do have good quality, bad quality, both there. So which way you see, that's reality for you. So therefore, we are talking here, it's not we are talking something impossible thing. We're talking something which is possible. You say, how I can feel love to everybody? There's so many bad people in this planet. Many people have that kind of thinking. Bodhisattvas, Buddha seeing everybody as a lovable. So you not seeing doesn't mean they all are horrible. You need to change your vision, your glasses. You wear the anger glasses, then always you see troublemakers. If you wear the affection love glasses, you can see very beautiful things around there. If you don't change your glasses, then try to point out there, it's never going to work. Makes you frustrated. When you look in the white wall, you put the sunglasses, look in this wall, you never see the white real color. You see either yellow or brown or something, what kind of glasses you wear. Then you blame yourself, put more color, white color, how much you put it there. It never turned into white because that problem is your glasses. You need to change that. So we learn from that. If you're seeing so much negative things, that means something wrong in your mind. That means something, some kind of anger, it's involved there. Your vision is taken over by your anger. Recognize that. So therefore, we need to learn how to see the good things. From the Buddhist perspective, all sentient beings has a Buddha nature, right? Every being has a Buddha nature. That means all of them has, their nature is very pure, very clean, but mental affliction polluted, right? Mental affliction polluted them. Their nature is good. Look on that fundamental nature, very pure and clean. Above there, then you should put it, all the benefit you receive from others. If you Buddhists who believing on rebirth have more advantages, more beneficial. Otherwise, oh, I believe in reincarnation, rebirth. These are not big deal. It's silly, right? You believer or non-believer, not big deal. Point is, if you believe in something, that you should use your belief, how to develop compassion, how to generate your renunciation. That means the smart. Your belief helps you. Otherwise, you believing nothing helps, then what's the point to believe these things? So from the people who believe in the rebirth, then our past life is beginningless. So that means in the past, everybody, today, my current parents, being my parents in the past, not only this life, past many times, because their life and my lives are beginningless. Same, all other sentient beings, today, one of the worst, your enemy, but he or she, they're also being your parents, your grandparents in the past countless time because of beginningless of the life. Right? If the person not believing on that system, you should think today. Just think about today, your life. Since you're born, you are 100% rely on others. The food you eat, the shelter you live, the clothes, the dress you wear, the power you have, the educations you have, everything come from others. Like a simple today, you see this little mug. I'm drinking this tea, this green tea. I'm enjoying surviving with this tea. But if you look at first, this clay, the mud come from where? Who bring this mud? Then who create this muck? In the factories, the people who work, right? And who bring all these kind of things here? Then the tea leaf. How many people involved to plant these tea leaves, to pick up this, to go to the factories? Then water. That water you always enjoying, but this water come from where? It's not just simple there. It's not just only from government. It's a government, but government where they get the money. Each individual's people work, they hard work, they pay tax to the government, then use that money to have electricity, to have water. Then just simple one cup of the coffee or the water, how many people involved there? Thousands and thousands of people. Just simple one cup of the coffee. Then you imagine, since your birth to till today, how much coffee you drink in your life, tea you drink in your life, how much food you eat in your life. Just eating and drinking alone, million and million of people involved. You enjoying because of those people. Even you do, most of them, you have no idea, lives in overseas, working very hard workers and sacrificing their life. And people are sacrificing their life to work hard to make this thing, and you are enjoying this. So that's how you should look. Electricity, food, then educations. Today, be educated how to eat, work, everything you're doing. These educations come from where? Right? Your teachers, the people who create this textbook, curriculums, office, you know, um, what you call the, who built staff members. Then you go, pass. Many generation, they put so much effort to create that system. So we enjoying, we surviving. So when you look at that perspective, still every sentient beings, you receive benefit from them. And just general, okay, just simple one fruit, you eat the apples. How many, the beings involved with that? So many, even the animals, like even simple like a bees, right? This simple bee traveling here, they're working so hard to transforming the pollens, to each others. And that's how the apples coming. Now, when the bees population are reduced, people are now worry about their fruit, maybe not good enough, worse. So that's how we understanding. Just simple one fruit, how many the beings, you know, put effort to there. So we enjoying. So we should think about all these kind of, appreciate others' kindness, feel gratitude them. That will help you to feel sense of closeness, feel dear to other. So when you put it into the meditation, we generally put three baskets. One basket, your friends and family. One basket, you put it your enemies, the people you hate. The one basket, you put the neutral beings. You do not have any close and distant relationship. So the people to friends and the family, much easier to appreciate their kindness, right? The neutral beings, simple meditation. You have to be really smart. How should I make connection to them? Either your neighbors, your co-worker, but you have no any connection, close and distant. Those people, you look, they do have anger, hatred. They can hurt you. They can harm you. They can do many bad things. But kindness of not harming you, kindness of not hurting you, kindness of not showing their anger and hatred towards you. This also kindness, right? So you appreciate to them from the neutral beings. An enemy is the most important. Because of the enemy, it gives you opportunities. In the Shanti Deva says, it gives you so much opportunity to exercise your patience, your tolerance. You really learn the real education, real, inner qualities to grow because of the enemies. Enemy give us the the opportunity to exercise our patience. So from that perspective, enemies are our dear, the teacher, who give us opportunity. So look from this perspective. Then finally, entire sentient beings, I mentioned earlier, the food, the shelters, everything you have because of them. Then as a practitioner, serious Mahayana practitioner, to achieve compassion because of others. If others not exist, we're never ever going to achieve compassion. Compassion because of others. Because others suffering, you see, that's how you feel compassion, right? Then bodhicitta, because of others. Then six paramitas. Finally, to becoming Buddha, because of others. So others are not only source of your temporary happiness, they are also source of your long-term happiness, the happiness of enlightenment, Buddhahood, because of others. So the others are the source of temporary and long-term happiness. Through that perspective, you appreciate to them, gratitude to them. So when you really sincerely feel that way, then affection, love, you feel very close to them. When you feel close to them, then compassion is very easy. Shantideva says, even all sentient beings wants to remove their suffering. They do not want suffering, but they are running towards suffering. They want to live happiness, but they destroy their happiness by their ignorance, mental affliction. That's how all sentient beings suffer. So out of that intention, you wish each and all of them free from their suffering, and mainly free from the causes of suffering, which are the ignorance, their mental afflictions, their negative karmas. So when you feel that wish from heart, then you just remain with that wish as much as you can. Then slowly when they're disappearing, think about again. So analytical meditation, stabilization meditation, back, forward. When your feelings is disappearing, you analyze, think again, these suffering, these kind of things. Then feeling arises, then think upon as a meditation. Just remain with that feeling without analyze. Then slowly, feelings remain longer, less analytical meditation, more single point of meditation. Finally, it comes without effort. You have wish each and all of them free from suffering and causes of suffering effortlessly. When it arises, then you should call yourself, I have a compassion. Till that, you do not have compassion, right? So that's how now going to guide the meditation. It's almost an hour, I'm talking too much. Okay, so I'm going to guide the meditation here, very simple. The point is, this is just only a little bit key. You give you a certain type of the way. And mainly, if you do this meditation constantly, every day, you need this all information, use this information, and you apply your daily, at least 10, 15 minutes to this meditation. Little bit better. Eventually, you really feel that. When you feel your compassion sincerely from your heart, there's no doubt your self-center will reduce. When that reduces, your anger, your attachment, all your mental affliction will reduce. When these kind of things reduce, your fear, your worries, your stress, all those mental anxiety and so forth will change, will reduce. Your action will turn much better. Through that, makes oneself happy, the family you share with the people makes them happy, society, in a way you are living with, them also feel that happiness. So that's why compassion is so important, very important. Necessarily, we need that in order to live peaceful, meaningful life. Okay, now I'm going to guide the meditation. Now, first, you should take a deep breath. When you inhale, very deep and gentle through your nose. Same when you exhale. Now you should focus on your breath. When you inhale, you just think yourself is inhaling. And same when you exhale, you just think yourself is exhaling. So keep your mind on the present. Don't think about any past. Don't plan about any future. In the present, you are breathing. So inhaling with the full of mindful, or the inhaling with the aware. Same in exhaling. Take a deep breath with your mindful. And exhale with the mindful. Slowly, when your mind is really calmed down, now first you should visualize. Visualize, which means you should think about the people you feel very close, like your friends or your families, at your right. You visualize them, they're sitting beside your right, each of them. And you should visualize at your left neutral beings. Neutral beings, which means you know them, but you do not have either close or distant relationship, maybe around 5 to 10 people. In front of you, you should visualize the people you hate, people you dislike, it's called the enemies. People you feel very distant. Then all other sentient beings, you should visualize at your back. Now, first we should meditate on very simple meditation on mind of equanimity. So in order to feel equal toward others, don't judge into secondary level. Rather, you should look from the fundamental levels. Your fundamental desire is you just want to live happy, peace, do not want suffering. You have a right to live happy, and your final goal is ultimate happiness. That's your fundamental. Exactly the same, the friends and the family at your right, you just look from that fundamental. They also want to live happy, peace, do not want suffering. They have a right to live happy. Their final goals are also same as yours. Exactly same. No differences. Apply to the neutral beings at your left. Also same. Each of those neutral beings wants to live happy, peace, do not want suffering. They have a right to live happy. Their final goals is also same as yours. Ultimate happiness, long-lasting happiness. Just look that perspective, they are same exactly as yours. Now you're looking the enemies in front of you. They also, the fundamental, their desire is also same. They want to live happy, peace, do not want suffering like you. They have a right to live happy. And their final goal is also same as yours, ultimate happiness. Exactly the same. So there's no differences at all. All of these three baskets, through that all other sentient beings behind you also say, just look from that perspective, there's nothing differences at all. But unfortunately, your anger and your attachments divided them, make some close, others distant by your anger and attachments, which is negative emotion, wrong perception. But the reality, they all are same and equal. So through that, just feel, remain equanimity. Not closer feeling, not distant feeling. Your feeling toward others exactly the same, the neutral. Remain equanimity feeling toward all of them. Right, left, front your enemy, behind all other sentient beings. So meditate on equanimity. So this is the foundation, the ground to generate your compassion. Now, in order to generate a compassion, I mentioned earlier, you should look first all of those beings. Their fundamental nature is very pure and clean like you. They just want to live happy, peace, do not want suffering like your friends and the families, neutral beings, enemies, deep of their heart. It's very pure and clean. All sentient beings behind you. And all of them have Buddha nature. Upon there, you should then remember the kindness you receive from friends and family at your right. Each of kindness, the love, the benefit you receive from them, just remember those. toward them and feel gratitude toward them. Appreciate toward them. Exactly the same to the nature beings at your left. Their nature is very pure, just wants to live happy in peace and do not want suffering. Upon there, even they do have anger, hatred, selfish, arrogance, and so forth. Even they can hurt you, harms you, say bad things to you, but the kindness of not hurting you, not harming you, not destroying you. So remember those kindness from them, either your neighbors, your co-workers, whoever, the kindness of not hurting you, not harming you, not destroying you, not accusing you, and so forth. Remember all these kindness and appreciate to them. Feel gratitude toward them. Now you shift it to the enemies in front of you. This is the most important. The enemy, which means the people you hate, people you dislike, people you feel really angry. Those people, they're fundamental. Their mind is very pure like you. The nature of their mind is pure. They also want to live happy, peace, do not want suffering, exactly what you wanted. And upon there, because of those behave, all those wrong mistake that behave, it's created by their mental afflictions, either their ignorance, their anger, their hatred, their arrogance, attachments, and greed, and so forth, not the person. So try to divide all those bad behaviors come from their mental affliction. Their mental afflictions are not them. Your anger is not you, same. But those people, as a practitioner, it gives you tremendous opportunity to exercise your patience, your tolerance, your forgiveness, and your sincerely compassion you learn from them. These are the people who really helps you to generate, to cultivate all these patience, tolerance, and so forth. So kindness of gives you opportunity to generate all the good qualities. Through that you should appreciate to them, feel gratitude toward them. Finally, entire sentient beings, the food you eat, the teas and coffees you drink, the clothes and dress you wear, the shelter you live, the road you're driving, the electricity you're using, you're surviving, the waters you're drinking, your educations, all of these things you're enjoying, you're surviving because of others. Everything. Without other, you will not going to survive. Everything today you have right now has come from others. Their hard work. You are enjoying, you are surviving. So remember all this kindness you receive from others, directly, indirectly, majority you have no idea who they are, but millions and millions. The food you eat, even not only human beings, even the animals, the bees, and so forth, the environments, you're surviving from all other sentient beings. And the future to develop your compassion, to achieve the compassion, bodhicitta, to achieve enlightenment because of others. So others are not only the source of your temporary happiness, you survive, even the long-lasting happiness, the source of long-lasting happiness. So through that, you should really feel appreciate to all sentient beings, feel gratitude to all of them, right, left, front, behind you. Through that, you should generate affection, love, like a feel of really sense of closeness, feel dear, touch your heart to each and all of them. How much you feel close to your own child, your own families, exactly that same sense of closeness, feeling dear, entire sentient beings, right? Friends, family, left, neutral beings, front, your enemies, behind, entire beings. So meditate on affection, love, seeing all of them as a lovable. So all those dear sentient beings, all of them wants to live happy, peace. Nobody wants suffering like you. But because of living under the influence of self-centered, anger, attachments, arrogance, jealousies, egos, and so forth, they make wrong decision, they act wrong, mistake. That's why they all suffer. Think about the word the Shantideva says. They do not want suffering. They are running towards suffering. They want to live happy in peace. They're destroying their happiness by their ignorance. So think about all this suffering today they're experiencing. Suffering, which is physical problems, mental problems, emotional problems, individual, family, society, nations, specific during this pandemic, suffering of death and dying, suffering of stress, suffering of illness, aging, stress, fear, worries, depressions, and so forth. Think about all this suffering of changing, suffering of conditioning. So all those dear sentient beings wants to live happy, but the reality, they all suffer. So through that, you should generate compassion. Wish each and all of them be free from sufferings and the causes of sufferings. And not just simple visualize or think. You should really focus on your heart to feel that. Feel. Wish each and all of them be free from sufferings and the causes of sufferings. How much you feel compassion to your own child, your own family members, exactly the same to entire sentient beings, specific the enemies in front of you. Wish each and all of them be free from sufferings and the causes of sufferings. When your feelings arises, you just remain with that feeling without any investigate. May all beings be free from sufferings and the causes of sufferings. Wish each and all of them be free from suffering and causes of sufferings. Now you have a very, very powerful compassion you have right now. And through that meditation, you accumulate so much virtues and merits. So all these virtues, the merit, the compassion, should visualize as a form of smoke in your heart. When you exhale, you should release that smoke with your breath. When they come out through your nose, it goes to 10 directions and it's pervaded to all over the world. And other sentient beings, when they inhale, you visualize they take this smoke with their breath. As soon as when the smoke go into their body, visualize they purify their physical problems, the suffering, the mental sufferings, and the causes of suffering, which are the negative emotions and negative karmas, are completely purified. So out of that visualization, first make sure you feel tremendous compassion to entire sentient beings equally. And take a deep breath and release. You share your compassion to others. Again, out of compassion to all beings, take a deep breath and send it out. All your compassions and your virtues form of smoke and send it out and spray it all over the world. Again, take a deep breath with your compassion to all and release. Now you should visualize all other sentient beings when they take these smokes with their breath. They release all their physical, mental, emotional sufferings and the causes of sufferings, completely purified, makes them physical, mental, emotionally very peaceful, very healthy. Or you should rejoice. And the promise oneself to keep compassion all your life. Okay, so this is the one simple compassion meditation. So I focus more in instruction as instead of guiding the meditation, because when you're fully understanding how to do that, then you should do yourself every day, and that will tremendous helps you. And specific during this pandemic, one of the best to heal from stress, fear, all kinds of things, this compassion meditation is one of the best medicine. And it helps you to heal from all these problems. You don't need to focus on that way. This benefit will come naturally without pay attention. Your intention is wants others be free from suffering, but the result makes you happy, makes benefit to you. Okay, so if you have any questions, any doubt, any not clear, any completely disagree, happy with discussion. That's all, right?
Thank you, Geshe.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a very good evening. Today I don't have any classes, so it's much free today. So I just take longer time. Sometimes the Saturdays we have another classes always. So today is free, so share a little bit longer. So, okay, thank you. See you next time.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you.